Today, we have a very special guest with us. It's honor to have Mr. Vishal Batra, brother of the brave and valiant Kargil war martyr Captain Vikram Batra, who is remembered for his heroic actions during the Kargil war. Vishal, firstly, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for that.
Vishal, it's indeed an honor to have you here today with us. To start off, first I wanted to ask, could you share a little bit about your childhood memories with Vikram? How was the like growing together?
Surely. So to begin with, sir, I think we had a wonderful childhood, and since we both are identical twins, right, our similarities were, very looks were very identical, and a lot of times it used to happen that one used to get beaten for a misdeed of other, and generally, when we started our early childhood in the school, we picked up sports as one of our interests, and we got into playing table tennis. And generally, there's a saying that sports bring a lot of camaraderie. So when we picked up sports as young kids, so that really helped developing a very strong brotherhood and a bond, both as brothers as well as the sports person. So we could understand the nuances, we could understand the strengths, we could understand the weaknesses of each other very well. And a lot of times it used to be happen that the competition used to be between both of us, primarily when we used to represent our school or we used to represent our city, primarily in any tournament, which could be a local tournament or a zonal tournament or a regional tournament. A lot of times ऐसा होता था कि हम दोनों का आपस में competition होता था quarter final में, semi final में. But with that competition also we realized that end of the day, whosoever is the winner, the trophy has to go to the same house, right? And definitely, we were good in studies. We both used to study together. I think there'll be innumerable kind of memories. It'll be very difficult for me for the positive time to spell out everything. But one or two memories which are very fondly I remember is that जब हम छोटे होते थे तो कई बार ऐसा होता था ना, when you get into a tussle with somebody, तो अगर एक पिटता था तो दूसरा देख के हंसता था. So sometimes our sisters used to tell that you both are twins, yaar, why do you have to really get bugged up by somebody? So then we realized that as a brother we need to have that bond. और एक टाइम आया, ऐसा ड्रामेटिक चेंज आया लाइफ में कि हमसे दोनों में से कोई पंगा नहीं लेता था, क्योंकि सबको पता लगता था कि अगर एक को अगर कुछ करेंगे तो एक ही जगह दो बंदे पीटने आ जाएंगे हमको. I think that's one of the memory which is very close to my heart. So and that was the kind of the childhood, and as I mentioned that the camaraderie, be it in the terms of studied when we were studying, चाहे वो स्कूल था, चाहे वो कॉलेज था, चाहे वो हमारा CDS का प्रिपरेशन था, चाहे स्पोर्ट्स था. So I think that childhood is very close to my heart because that's the time when we built a camaraderie as brothers, as friends, as confidentes, and whatever you want to call it as. So that was our childhood.
Great. Wonderful to hear about those early days. Now moving forward let's come to the Kargil war days. Can you tell us what kind of conversation used to happen between him and the family members, including you, when the war was on?
Sure. So during those times, sir, when Kargil happened in 99, I had just started my job. I was working for a private sector. So I never had a mobile phone. Though mom and dad had a phone, a landline at home, I was posted in Delhi. Mom and dad were at Palampur. So Palampur में तो वो regular एक दो बार उसने phone किया while he was fighting the battle for those 50-60 days. But with me, the entire communication was through the exchange of letters. And he wrote me 4 letters, to be honest, from the battlefield. The first letter he wrote to me was on 16th of June, 99. Before he went for his first mission. Second letter was written to me on 23rd of June after he captured the first peak, which is 0.5140. Third letter was written on 2nd of July when he was supposed to go for a second mission, which was 0.4875, which is now called as a Batra Top. And the last letter was written to me on 5th of July when he was actually sitting at Batra Top, which is 4875. And if I tell you the content, what he had written in those letters was one, he had written in one of the letters very categorically that there's a hell lot of bullets and RT shells which are coming down from the enemy side, and there's a lot of risk involved. So please take care of mom and dad. He had written that the Indian Army is doing a fantastic job and we are behind the enemy and we are pushing them hard and we are pushing them back to their territory, and very soon you'll get to know that the Indian Army has won the battle. He had written in one of the letters that with a lot of pride, he had written that he undertook a mission of 0.5140 along with his another officer, then of course Lieutenant, now of course the Colonel Sanjeev Jamwal, and they undertook this mission together, 5140, and it was a brilliant success. And he mentioned that the icing of the success was that he went up with the 6 men and he came down with 6 men. He didn't lose even a single soldier.
Great.
He did mention that he was recommended for a Mahavir Chakra. It is written in one of his letters that you'll be proud to know that I've been recommended for a Mahavir Chakra for my first mission. And also he picked up the rank of a captain, because when we went up, he was a lieutenant. But when he came down after spending 6 days on the peak, he was given the rank of a captain, and it was a very historic pipping ceremony, because the pipping ceremony happened at 0.5140. Right. Last letter he had written to me that he's going again up for a very offensive action.
Okay. After Vikram's passing away,
Sir.
you being identical twin, your own journey, we have been hearing a lot about you, have been of inspiration, resilience. Can you tell us more about how you have been keeping his memory alive and inspiring others?
Sure. So two things, sir. One, I personally believe that I was fortunate enough and blessed by the Almighty to be his twin. And when I lost him, since we had knitted the dream of donning the uniform together, I couldn't fulfill the dream of donning the uniform. So I felt the need that, what Vikram has done for this country, I had to really ensure that his legacy is lived on even when I'm not there. So I made it a point that, wherever I could go and talk about his bravery, talk about his deeds, talk about his valor, whether it is the social media, whether through the TED Talks, whether going out and giving some lectures on the leadership lessons, what I learned from his bravery, in a lot of management colleges and a lot of undergrad colleges, even I've done, a lecture outside India. So I thought, I think that's a responsibility on my shoulder to keep his memory alive, keep his legacy alive. And that was primarily because I'm a identical twin, younger twin by 14 minutes. And I wanted that the dream for what he donned the uniform, right? The memory of the people is very short-lived. So it should not happen that what the Indian Army has done, and it is just not about Vikram, I'll be very honest, it is about the bravery and valor of every Indian soldier we lost. Whether I talk of Vikram Batra through this platform, I talk of Anuj Nayyar, Manoj Pandey, everyone around, right? I thought it's my responsibility to keep on talking, because what the army does for us, I personally believe that that's a profession which is very, very revered for me in front of my eyes. Right. And I personally look at it as not as a profession, but I look at it as a life. It's a way of life, the way the army or the Indian Air Force or the Navy or all the defense forces function. So that was one reason I wanted to keep his memory alive. Two, in respect of my resilience, Vikram knew that I was a very, very competent guy. Vikram was definitely, Vikram marched ahead much faster than what we ever thought. We never thought that हम दोनों एक serial देखते थे परमवीर चक्र, ये कभी जिंदगी में नहीं सोचा था that your own twin brother will be the recipient of the highest honor of the Indian Army. तो मुझे लगता था that Vikram was always concerned about me doing well in life. And just to mention, I remember, when I met Vikram for the last time, before we lost him, I had appeared for one of the interviews with the private sector bank, and I was struggling in my career, I'll be very honest. और विक्रम ने एक लेटर में मुझे लिखा कि what happened to that interview which you gave? He had written in his last letter to me. Means that Vikram was not even aware that whether I've cracked my interview or I've not cracked that interview. Right? तो मुझे लगा कि यार Vikram was always very optimistic about my own career also. So I really have to make it big, not just for my own self, but also to ensure that Vikram had a dream that I should do well in life.
Great. Now, I want to ask a question about our national flag, Tiranga. I have got on my experience. हर पोस्ट पे हम तिरंगा अपनी फहराते हैं. जब हम दुश्मन को जीतते हैं तो पहाड़ की जैसे उन चोटियों पे भी सबसे पहला काम आता है तो अपना तिरंगा फहराते थे. And it is very close to heart of any army person. And you are so close, involved and engrossed in each and everything about Kargil war. And Tiranga identifies us as Indian. And now you say many people display Tiranga 365 days at offices and home. And now for the honor of the country and otherwise, we want a message from you to give to all of the complete Indians, all the citizens of India, that the pride and the person should take in display of Tiranga in all manner.
The only message I would give is, and I'll relate it to something else, that you don't have to join forces to become a great citizen or somebody who's very close to the country. My personal belief that hosting a tricolor fundamentally believes that you have a responsibility towards the country, for being a wonderful citizen. And that is what counts. It doesn't make a difference what profession you represent, whether you come from the armed forces, you come from the civil services, you come from the corporate sector, you come from the businessman. The only message I can give to every Indian who wants to hold a Tiranga is that if you're hosting a Tiranga, it means that you're representing the country, and live to the ethos of the country by being a good citizen. And in whatever way you can contribute towards the development of the society, development of this country, that is what matters and nothing else matters.
Thank you. Thank you, Vishal, for being with us and taking us down the memory lane. And I'm sure the memories of Vikram will rekindle the feeling of patriotism in every Indian's heart and will motivate many youngsters to either, as you said in the last, either to join army and do well, or in any form, wherever we are serving as Indians, we uphold the values of Tiranga and do the best. We want to convey through you our good wishes and respect to every in your family and pay our homage to once again to Vikram for
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you for joining. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jain sir.